You're watching South Asian Newsland, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 20th of October. PM Modi marks Operation Sindhu's success with Navy on Diwali. Trump vows to keep massive tariffs on India until Russian oil imports cease. And Pakistan and Afghanistan agree to immediate ceasefire after talks in Doha. And now for all the details. Keeping with the tradition of celebrating Festival of Light, Diwali, with the armed forces, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi this year marked Diwali with the Navy personnel at the INS Vikrant off the coast of Goa and Karwar on Monday, where he asserted that the extraordinary coordination among the armed forces compelled Pakistan to surrender during Operation Sindoor. Addressing a gathering of Navy personnel on board, Modi said that INS Vikrant is a towering symbol of self-reliant India and Make in India. On 22nd April, the Resistance Front affiliated to Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba terror group perpetrated a devastating attack in India's Pahalgam that killed 26 innocent tourists in cold blood. In response, the Indian Defence Forces executed Operation Sindoor on the night of 7 to 8 May, targeting terrorist training camps at 9 different locations within Pakistan and POJK.
भारतीय वायुसेना द्वारा दिखाए गए अद्भुत कौशल ने, भारतीय सेना की जांबाजी ने, तीनों सेनाओं के जबरदस्त समन्वय ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में पाकिस्तान को इतनी जल्दी घुटने टेकने पर मजबूर कर दिया था.
Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump on Monday publicly issued a stark warning that India will continue to pay massive tariffs unless it restricts its import of Russian crude oil. When asked about India's claims that it was not aware about any conversation between PM Modi and Trump, he replied, "But if they want to say that, then they will just continue to pay massive tariffs and they don't want to do that." Trump's comments on New Delhi committing to phasing out Russian oil comes a second time in 1 week. Responding to Trump's remarks last week, India's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal reiterated that India is a significant importer of oil and gas and that diversification of energy sources remains a key priority. This cohesive diplomacy comes after the Trump administration hiked duties on Indian goods to 50%, with the penalty for Russian oil purchases being explicitly cited as a reason. The US government has said petroleum revenue funds Russia's war in Ukraine.
I spoke with Prime Minister Modi of India, and he said he's not going to be doing the Russian oil thing, so that's it.
But why would India say that they're not going to do that?
I don't know, but if they want to say that, then they'll just continue to pay massive tariffs, and they don't want to do that.
And Afghanistan and Pakistan have agreed to an immediate ceasefire during talks hosted by Doha, which comes following a week of fierce border clashes. We have a report.
Officials from Pakistan and Afghanistan on Sunday confirmed the agreement of an immediate ceasefire between the two countries after a round of negotiations in Doha following a week of fierce border clashes between the two South Asian neighbors. The talks, mediated by Qatar and Turkey, led Pakistan and Afghanistan to reach the agreement on ending hostilities and establishing mechanisms aimed at fostering lasting peace and stability. Residents in Pakistan's Karachi expressed they see the agreement as a positive and hopeful development, saying that both nations, being neighboring Muslim countries, should live together in harmony.
शायद बात है क्योंकि हम देख रहे थे कि काफ़ी दिनों से कशीदगी चल रही थी दोनों ममालिक में, पर पाकिस्तान ने अफगानिस्तान को भरपूर जवाब भी दिया है और कल हमने देखा कि पाकिस्तानी हुकाम और अफगान हुकाम की मुलाकात हुई है कतर में, जिससे सीज़ फायर का ऐलान कर दिया गया है. वज़ीर दिफा ख्वाजा आसिफ भी वहाँ पर मौजूद थे. ये खुशाइन बात है क्योंकि अफगानिस्तान के जो शहरी पाकिस्तान में मुकीम थे अफगानी बाशिंदे, उनको जो निकालने का सिलसिला है वो भी जारी है. पाकिस्तान में उनकी जानिब से ये भी मुतालबा किया गया कि दहशतगर्दी फिलफौर ख़त्म की जाए. इसको हम एक खुशाइन बात समझते हैं कि दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान मुआहदा जो है खुश असलूबी से तय पा गया.
In a social media post, Pakistan's Deputy PM and Foreign Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar said he welcomed the agreement. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif also confirmed the agreement, adding that delegations of the two countries will meet again on October 25 in Istanbul. Afghan government spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid also said that neither country will undertake any hostile actions against the other. Fierce clashes broke out between Pakistan and Afghanistan along their 2,600-kilometer frontier last week, after Pakistan accused militants from Afghanistan of launching attacks from across the border. Afghanistan denied the allegations and accused Pakistan of spreading misinformation and sheltering Islamic State-linked militants to undermine its stability and sovereignty. The clashes, which reportedly killed dozens and wounded hundreds, marked the worst violence between the two countries since 2021.
Both sides are making sincere efforts to find a positive resolution to this complex but solvable issue.
A massive fire at Dhaka Airport's import cargo complex has caused extensive damage to goods belonging to major garment exporters, with losses likely running into millions of dollars. The blaze, which broke out on Saturday, gutted storage areas containing imported raw materials, ready-to-export garments and vital product samples critical to Bangladesh's $47 billion apparel industry. Enamul Haq Khan, the Vice President of Bangladesh Garment Manufacturers and Exporters Association, said the destruction would seriously impact exports and future business, as many factories lost high-value shipments and samples needed for securing new buyers. BGMEA has launched an online portal to collect data on damages. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. The cargo village handles over 600 metric tons of cargo daily, doubling during the October-December peak season. This marks Bangladesh's third major fire in a week, further straining the world's second-largest garment exporter, which supplies global retailers such as H&M, Walmart and Gap. The Nepalese community in Israel wept and laid flowers on the coffin of slain Nepali hostage Bipin Joshi at the Ben Gurion airport on Sunday before his repatriation to his home country. People expressed their condolences to deceased Joshi's family. Bipin Joshi was kidnapped alive during the October 7, 2023 attack on Israel and died in captivity in Gaza. Hamas handed over Bipin Joshi's body last Monday. Meanwhile, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt will remain closed until further notice. He further added that the border's reopening will depend on Hamas handing over the remaining bodies of deceased hostages.
He was murdered in captivity during the first...
Very sad. We lost our student, Nepali student. How we feel very dark day and black day. From 1 week we not sleep, we don't eat well, we are working with human and we are working like this every day. We don't accept this, we don't expect this and this. But we need to accept truth. Sorry, Bipin mom and Bipin sister.
I feel very sad moment. I cannot express in words. And I'm very crying myself. Actually, we want to see him alive and to back to country, Nepal. But who knows, it's all the accident, it happened suddenly. So, I want to say heartfelt condolence.
Moving on. People across India on Monday celebrated the festival of lights, Diwali, with prayers and a display of fireworks. Meanwhile, in Nepal, people celebrated Kukur Tihar, a day dedicated to honoring dogs. Take a look.
People in parts of India on Monday thronged temples to offer prayers and lit lamps and burst crackers to celebrate the festival of lights Diwali. Considered the most important festival in the Hindu calendar, Diwali symbolizes the victory of righteousness over evil and the lifting of spiritual darkness. It is believed that millions of lamps were lit when Hindu Lord Ram returned to his kingdom Ayodhya after 14 years of exile and defeating Ravan, the demon king of Lanka. Diwali is also celebrated in honor of the Hindu goddess of wealth and prosperity, Lakshmi. It is believed that goddess Lakshmi showers her blessings upon homes that are clean and well lit.
जब हम लोग छोटे थे तो बहुत सारे पापा से सुनते थे कि राम मंदिर बनेगा, दर्शन करने जाएंगे. अब हम वो जनरेशन में जो स्टोरी सुनते रियलिस्टिक लाइफ में वो हम उस चीज को जी रहे हैं. तो हम लोग पढ़ते बाहर हैं, बाहर जॉब करते हैं, लेकिन जब ऐसे टाइम पे आते हैं, जब फेस्टिवल टाइम में होता है, बहराइच के रहने वाले हैं, वहां पे आते हैं, फिर राम मंदिर तक दर्शन करने आते हैं, तो काफी अद्भुत लगता है ये.
Meanwhile, police officials in Nepal's capital Kathmandu awarded medals and treats to dogs on Monday as part of Kukur Tihar celebrations. the second day of the 5-day Tihar festival, during which animals are worshipped across the Himalayan nation. At the Central Dog Training School, dogs were felicitated for their contribution to maintaining security and helping officials solve cases. The event also included competitions and obedience displays. The dogs were also offered special feast and worshipped with vermilion powder and flowers. People across the Hindu-majority nation also honor their dogs with baths, garlands and special treats to mark Kukar Tihar. Devout Hindus consider the dog to be the messenger of Yamaraj, the god of death, and believe that worshipping the animal makes him happy.
And today is Kukar Tihar, and it is one of the most joyous festivals in Kathmandu, where we celebrate dogs for their loyalty and friendship. I think all the countries around the world should learn from Nepal to actually respect dogs and love them for who they are, and always respect them regardless where they belong.
And that's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Till then, good night.